57, Bill Withers, and car number 8, that's Bob Sage. In row number 3, it's car 17, Bob Cumbo, and car number 91, Billy Graham. The next row in car 12 is Robbie Pyle, and outside of Robbie in car number 2, Vic Tannerelli, and finally on the tail in car number 14, Tim Critchell. A 10-lap heat race for the ARCA Pro 4s, 10 laps. Here tonight on Burco Trucking and True Value Hardware night at the races. Balena and Schmidt lead the pack around, 10 laps to go. Wayne Schmidt, the early leader in car number 4. Second is Bob Sage. Again, Wayne Schmidt the leader, Bob Sage is second. Billy Graham third, but here comes Vic Tannerelli in car number 2. Now Tannerelli on the move on the outside, almost into the backstretch wall. He recovers. The race on at the front. Bob Sage moves beneath Wayne Schmidt. And we're told that 14 car of Critchell has a fire underneath the hood of that car. Tim Critchell in 14 from Xenia, Ohio. Okay, again, the 4 car also with a small fire on board. So Wayne Schmidt is out. Your leader is Bob Sage. Second is Vic Tannerelli. Third, Billy Graham. Tannerelli wastes little time outside of Bob Sage. And Sage with a spin in turn number 4. White flag signifying 1 lap and will be underway. 2 laps still completed of this 10-lap heat race. The leader in 91. Second is Robbie Pyle. Third now Bob Cumbo in car 17. Two youngsters out front. Billy Graham, not very old. We're not sure. He's like 17 years old or so. 17 or 18 years old. And Robbie Pyle, also not a rookie, but he was a rookie last year. Graham still holds on. They'll complete 6 laps of 10 this time around. slips in, coming coming off turn number 2. Pyle tries to squeeze in turn 3. Pyle on the inside, Graham on the outside. They'll get the white flag this time around. And the new leader is Robbie Pyle. Billy Graham is second, Bob Cumbo third. And the winner of heat race number 1, Robbie Pyle. Billy Graham second. Third is Bob Cumbo. Fourth, Bob Sage. And fifth, Bill Withers. So a good race for the ARCA Pro 4s. As you can see, these gentlemen can run either open wheel or closed wheel configurations. And you'll see a little of each. Chad in car number 6, Robin Slaughter. The second row in car 71, Rex Betties. And outside of Rex, in car number 7, Jerry Young. Row number 3 is comprised of car 11, that's Jeff Sheets, and car 13, Jody Guerra. Next, there's 19, Don Bender. Car number 1, that's Mike Stacy. And car 28, Brian Freeze. And car number 03, Harold Samuel. Make that 05. 05 is Harold Samuel. 10 racing laps for these gentlemen in their ARCA Pro 4s. Robin Slaughter. Second is Jerry Young. Chad Butcher out in car number 9 with some mechanical trouble. Slaughter still the leader. Young is second. Jody Guerra third. Now Don Bender with some sort of mechanical trouble in car number 19. Guerra now on the move outside of Jerry Young. Jody Guerra in 13. They'll complete 4 laps this time by. Now Young moves inside of Slaughter on the backstretch. Halfway, the cross flag signifying halfway this time by. Now Stacy moves inside of Sheets. Stacy is up to third. And now Mike Stacy clears Slaughter. He is second. Jerry Young, your leader. Mike Stacy goes to work on the green and white number 7. And Mike Stacy now the leader. He had fast time. He now leads the heat race. Jerry Young is second. Robin Slaughter and Jody Guerra go at it for third. White flag this time for Mike Stacy. And the winner, car number 1, Mike Stacy. Second goes to Jerry Young. Third, Jody Guerra. And fourth, Robin Slaughter. And Harold Samuel in 05. Harold Samuel with hard impact over in turn number 2. In the meantime, your winner is Mike Stacy.
I can't hear you.
Hello. And on the tail in car number 3, your fast qualifier with a time of 14.613, Don Wetnall. Your 4 fastest qualifiers, they'll go at it for 4 laps. Dean and Cantley, Vallow and Wetnall. Robbie Dean on the inside. Cantley tries to squeeze down on the outside, but Dean has not given up. Cantley with the first week out for this car 26. Races Dean door to door. They'll be halfway this time around. Still Robbie Dean and Bill Cantley. John Vallow is third. Don Wetnall fourth. Now Dean pulls ahead. White flag for Robbie Dean. Cantley tries to work beneath Dean, but not to be off turn 2 as Dean pulls a 3-car length advantage down the backstretch. And the winner will be Robbie Dean. Second goes to Bill Cantley. Third is John Vallow. And finishing fourth, Don Wetnall. Car owned by Al Reeves, sponsored by Cantley's Racing Parts, Robbie Dean. Told you I'd explain a little bit about qualification. The 4 cars you just saw are the fastest 4 cars. They start in inverted order in the Trophy Dash. This is meaning the fastest of those 4 cars on the tail. These are the slower of the cars that qualified in the late model division, with the fastest of these 6 cars on the tail. So that's how the lineups go here at the Speedway in the Trophy Dashes and the heat races. Denny Dean will start on the pole alongside Gary Estes. Second will be in the second row inside Mike Ward, and alongside in 49, Ed Duncan. The third and final row, Greg Markham in 23 and Joe Hill in 70. 10 racing laps, the first heat race for the late models. Denny Dean, the leader in car number 12. Now Estes puts that number 2 car out front. Still not able to pull down on the bottom line. But now Estes looks to be the leader. Gary Estes the leader, but here comes Ed Duncan in 49. Ed Duncan in car 49. Now challenges Gary Estes. Third is Denny Dean. Fourth, Mike Ward. laps in the record books. They'll be halfway the next time by. Cross flag signifying 5 down, 5 to go. Duncan pulls alongside once again. Now Mike Ward up to third. Mike Ward is third in 61. White flag this time around. We'll see if Duncan's got anything left. The leader is door to door through turns 1 and 2. Duncan moves up on the outside. But Estes charges into 3 and 4. And your winner, Gary Estes. Second goes to Ed Duncan. Third, Mike Ward. And fourth, Denny Dean. So, good race. Weekly NASCAR Winston Racing Series division. These are the guys who are in competition for the NASCAR regional and national point standings, and for a regional point standing victory at the end of the year, over $15,000 up for grabs. And if we produce a national champion from the Speedway, something like $50,000 or $60,000 for the NASCAR national champion. The lineup goes like this. On the pole in car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr., and alongside in 7, Bob Edwards. The second row in car number 1 is Terry Humphrey, and alongside of Terry in 52, Ron Otto Jr. The third row, car 55 from New Lebanon, is Bussy Blackford, and outside Dan Eves in car number 9. They'll race 10 laps. The leader is Bob Edwards. Second, Ron Otto Jr. Now up to third, Terry Humphrey. Bobby Edwards, the leader. He has one heat win to his credit so far in 1991. Ron Otto Jr. is second. Terry Humphrey third in car number 1. They'll be halfway this time around. 5 laps down this time by. Otto closes on Edwards. Ron Otto Jr. in 52. Bob Edwards still shows the way in that car number 7, the Edwards Motors entry. But Ron Otto Jr. is right on his back bumper. flag this time around. 1 lap remains. Otto sideways off the second turn. He won't be able to do it, it doesn't appear. The winner will be Bob Edwards. Second is Ron Otto. Third, Terry Humphrey. And fourth, Dan Eves. On the pole, in car number 0, it's Zero Hill. And alongside in car number 12, Donnie Renner. The second row consists of Carl Stapleton in car 33. And outside of Carl, car number 02, your fast qualifier with a time of 16.407. It's Charlie Osborne. Your fastest 4 cars, they'll race 4 laps. This is the limited sportsman division. These cars on stock frames. They're a heavier car than the late model, and they run on a Hoosier Comanche street type tire. And no start, no cigar. Cars need to come off the corner altogether.
Yeah, Robbie, I mean, to be perfectly honest.
We'll line them up and try it again the next time by. Zero Hill, the leader. Second place, a good race between Carl Stapleton and Don Renner. Now Hill begins to stretch it out over Stapleton. Renner is second, Osborne third. 4 laps this race goes. They'll be halfway this time by.
Tail drawn for the sportsman division, gentlemen, with the 10 also. The 10 drawn.
Now Hill with a sizable advantage. He'll get the white flag this time by. Zero Hill. Close race on for that second, third position. But the winner by a sizable lead, Zero Hill. Second goes to Carl Stapleton. Third is Don Renner. Fourth, Charlie Osborne. On the pole, Bob Gruball in number 5, and alongside in 48, Willie Bigham. The second row in car number 3, Ron Holbein, and outside in car 27, Terry Humphrey Jr. In row 3, Mike Cyrus is in 7, and Dennis Kelly in 31, Russ Bob in 53, J.V. Lease in 44, and on the tail, car 25, Jim Kidd. Laps for the limited sportsman first heat race. Terry Humphrey Jr. with problems in car 27. Holbein up along the Mr. Concrete on the backstretch. Your leader of lap number 1, Willie Bigham. Willie I with an IE. Grubauer holds on to the second place. Third is a toss-up between Holbein and Cyrus.
In some respects, what you say,
Willie Bigham, still your leader. Willie from Lancaster, Ohio. Holbein sideways entering 3, and he's into the wall. Speedway, Saturday night, June 22nd, the Superstar Shootout. Waltrip and Labonte. 2 laps are down. Your leader is Willie Bigham. Second in car number 5 is Bob Grubauer. Third, Mike Cyrus. And fourth, Dennis Kelly. 2 of 8 laps are completed. Now Kelly moves inside of Grubauer. Dennis Kelly is second. And third, Mike Cyrus in car number 7. They'll be halfway this time by. Halfway. Thank you. Dennis Kelly tries to move inside of Bigham down the front stretch. But Willie says, no, thank you. They'll try it again, and Kelly will get the position. Dennis Kelly in 31, the new leader. It's Kelly, Bigham, Cyrus, and Bob, your top 4. One lap to go this time. Now Cyrus will try the outside of Bigham for second. Your winner will be Dennis Kelly. Second place will be close. And it goes to Mike Cyrus. Third is Willie Bigham. And fourth, Russ Bob.
Tom Cyrus, could I see you at the pit mic, please? Tom Cyrus, could I see you at the pit mic?
The winner of the first Limited Sportsman Heat Race, Dennis Kelly from Ridgeway, Ohio. Dennis's car is sponsored by Violet Excavating. In car number 10 is Robin Pennington alongside in 29 Bob Justice. The second row, car number 9 is Jim Cruz. Almost called him Dan Eves. Jim Cruz in 9, and outside 74 Ken Sword. Row number 3 consists of car 55 John Strobel, and flanking him in the red number 20, the feature winner a week ago, Mike Brown. And last but not least, the fourth and final row, it'll be Mike Rush in 98, who picked up his first feature win at Killcare last night. And alongside 00, Dick Kelly, a one-time feature winner in 1991 here at Columbus Motor Speedway. 8 laps. The first, make that second, Limited Sportsman Heat Race. Pendleton, the leader. Justice is second. Hello, how do you do, Robin? Bob Justice into the back of Pendleton in turn number 3. Now up to third in 74, it's Ken Sword. Sword is third. of this 8-lap affair are done. Pennington the leader. Bob Justice is second. Ken Sward third. Mike Brown fourth. Cruz sideways up into Kelly, but everybody comes out okay. Meantime, your leader remains Robin Pennington halfway. Now Sward will test the waters outside of Justice. Robin Pennington puts some distance between himself and the second place battle. White flag this time. Pennington the leader. Sward. Ken Sward is now second. He'll not have enough time to catch Pennington. Your winner, car number 10, Robin Pennington. Second goes to Ken Sward. Third, car 29, I believe, Bob Justice. And fourth, car number 20, Mike Brown. Fast time, qualifying time was 17.564. Four cars, your fastest four qualifiers, they'll race 4 laps. The leader after lap number 1 will be 66, Paul Baker. Dan Brown goes to work on the outside of Mike Hamilton, but he can't make it stick in turn number 1. Hamilton sideways in turn 4. He catches it, but at the expense of Don Parsons. So your leader is still Paul Baker. Second now is Danny Brown. 1 lap remains. Baker the leader. Brown tries to close in the blue number 2, but he won't have enough. Your winner will be Paul Baker Jr. Second is Danny Brown. Third, Mike Hamilton. And fourth is Don Parsons. Stock division. On the pole in car 51, it's Sandy Butcher, and alongside in 19, Steve Elrod. The second row in car 23, that's Mike Taylor, and outside of Mike in 95, Gary Forbes. In car number 41, inside of the next row, that's Brian New, and outside of Brian in 87, Randall Borman. Next up in 03 tonight, that car being driven by Gary Carter, and alongside of Gary in 90, Eric Nachman. Finally, car number 89 is Herb Pennington, and car 69, the one-man thrill show, Clyde Trowbridge. 10 cars, they'll have 8 laps to get to the front. Is history, and your leader on the backstretch is Steve Elrod. Second is Randall Borman, making the pass on Sandy Butcher. Elrod squarely in turn 4. And now Borman moves alongside a Oh, and hello. Oh, Herb Pennington just makes it by a spinning Gary Forbes. Mike Taylor involved down there, along with Gary Carter in 03. Okay. And now the rest of the story. Your leader is Sandy Butcher. Second, Steve Elrod. Third is Randall Borman. Fourth, Brian New, followed by Eric Nachman, Herb Pennington, Clyde Trowbridge. 1 down, 7 remain in this heat race. Steve Elrod is out in front at this point in car number 19. Randall Borman now up to second. Randall Borman.
Hell of a slide job. Hell of a slide job.
Let's hear it for Borman. He's sideways again now. Elrod sideways. Your leader is Randall Borman. Eric Nachman is second, but here comes Brian New in 41. Five laps in the record books. Brian New up to second. Nachman is third. White flag this time. Good race for that third spot. Hello, Randall. Hello, Randall. Borman is now second. And the winner in a wild finish. There goes Randall again. It's Brian New. Second is Clyde Trowbridge. Third, Herb Pennington. And fourth, Eric Nachman. We're going to have to give Randall a $25 bonus for putting on a show out here. Contributions being taken at the start-finish line. No, I'm kidding.
Seriously, dude, let's go back to that 95. It's not as apparent on this side as it is on the other side.
On the pole in car number 98, Dean Stuckey. And alongside old Dean is car 4, Phil Gussler. The second row consists of car 35, Tom Idle, and car 27, Dave Dysinger. Row number 3, in car number 3, Butch McAllister, and outside of Butch, in 04, Buddy Townsend. The next row in car 44, the driver is Joe DeFelice, and car number 6, Bill Wellman. Up next in car number 22, Donald Parsons III, and alongside Bubba Parsons in 25. And out back with no qualifying time, car 33, Jim McCulley. 11 cars. They too have 8 laps to go. Gussler, but here comes Dysinger in a hurry. Gussler in 4, Dysinger in 27. Tom Idle is third in 35. This event will be history this time around. Still Dysinger and Gussler. Now Wellman threads the needle up to third. Wellman is third. Joe DeFelice calls it quits in car 44. Dysinger with a bit of advantage, but here comes Gussler back on the backstretch. And now Wellman up to challenge the leaders. Dysinger slips to third. Gussler your leader, Wellman is second. A white flag, this should be a wild finish. Wellman will try the top side. Gussler on the inside, Wellman on the outside. And the winner will be Phil Gussler. Second goes to Bill Wellman. Third is Buddy Townsend, and fourth Dave Dysinger. A good race. Just about all the races tonight have been close. That one no exception. It is intermission. We'll take a brief intermission and be back with you momentarily. If you're going down to one of the conveniently located Columbus Motor Speedway concession stands, don't forget to take along your lucky number program, as we'll be calling off these lucky numbers momentarily.
We got 26 straight spots. Hey, Lane, are you going to be here?
Any of the folks, the company's products and or services who sponsor the racing action here at the Speedway along the backstretch or in the Speedway program, please frequent their business. At least give them a shot at your business. Any of the folks that support racing here in Central Ohio. get the white flag this time.
Yeah, we're going 1 lap this time by. Start with next time.
Again, it's Bob Sage and Jerry Young, Bob Cumbo, Billy Graham, Jody Guerra, Robbie Pyle, Don Bender, Vic Tannerelli, Mike Stacy, and Chuck Webster. No, that's not right, 71. Rex Betties is in 71. 25 laps to go. Jerry Young, your leader. In car number 7, Young the leader. One lap down. Jeff Sheets calls it quits in car number 11 on the backstretch. Sheets off the racetrack in 11. The leader remains Jerry Young. Second is Billy Graham. Third, Bob Cumbo. With a spin in turn 4. Six laps complete, 6 laps down. The ARCA Pro 4 rules state that if there is not a completed lap, that no one goes to the tail. So that is the ARCA rules, not the Columbus Motor Speedway rules. So it's still Jerry Young the leader. 6 laps still complete. Tries to pass Jerry Young, and now the new leader is Jody Guerra. Up to second is Mike Stacy. 10 laps complete this time by. Car 28, Brian Freeze, spins on the backstretch. Also Bobby Sage in car number 8. Before we go back to racing action. Again, it's Jody Guerra in 13, Mike Stacy in 1, Vic Tannerelli in 2, 7 is Jerry Young, 12, Robbie Pyle, 17, Bob Cumbo, and 19, Don Bender. Mike Stacy, the leader. Stacy, the leader. Jody Guerra is second. Vic Tannerelli third. Mike Stacy stretches it out, but here comes Vic Tannerelli in 2. To go. Now Tannerelli tries to go inside of Stacy. Stacy fights back on the outside. Vic Tannerelli. Now Tannerelli stretches it out over Mike Stacy. Jody Guerra is third. And Don Bender appears to blow up. We'll check the racing surface.
Don't see it, go check.
Vic Tannerelli, Mike Stacy, Jody Guerra, Robbie Pyle, and Jerry Young, your top 5. And Mike Stacy in 1 is out.
It ain't on the board, Denny. Worried about the heat racing.
Chad Butcher with an off-track excursion in turn 4. Still your leader is Tannerelli. Five laps to go this time. Lap traffic, threads the needle through the 2 lap cars. engine expires, this time on car 28, Brian Freeze. "22 laps complete." These four-cylinder engines turn a lot of RPMs, and that one had had enough. Three laps remain. Challenges Tannerelli for the lead. And meantime, Chad Butcher with a spin on the backstretch. Vic Tannerelli, Jody Guerra second, Robbie Pyle third. White flag this time for Tannerelli. Burco Trucking, True Value Hardware Night, Vic Tannerelli. Second is Jody Guerra. Third, Robbie Pyle. Fourth, Jerry Young. And finishing fifth, Billy Graham. That's your top five from tonight's ARCA Pro 4 feature event. Vic's a little bit happier than he was during the heat race. Get him around here for a brief photo session. Come on around, Vic. We'll get a start the next time by. Ron Otto Jr. pressuring on the outside. 2 laps down. Jr. Complete, 10 laps. It's Dick Dunleavy, Ron Otto, Danny Eves, Bobby Edwards, and now Wetnall pressuring Edwards. Halfway. Wetnall is up to 4th from 10th starting spot. And now Danny Eves putting some pressure on Ron Otto Jr. Is on the move in 3. Wetnall on the move. Wetnall go after Dan Eves. Robbie Dean on the outside. And fluid on the racetrack. The reason for the yellow flag. Fluid on the racetrack. You can see the trail off the front stretch from the Terry Humphrey car. One lap will be underway. 9 laps remaining. On the outside of Dunleavy. To go this time, 5 laps. Holds on the outside of Dunleavy. A white flag this time. Danny's door-to-door on the backstretch. It'll be close. The winner, Dan Eves. A good race. The privateer, owner-driver in car number 9, Danny Eves, the winner. An exciting finish. Danny started out here 3 or 4 years ago in the sportsman division, ran the sportsman class for a couple of years. Sword in 74. The second row, 55, is John Strobel, and 20, Mike Brown. Car number 98 is next. That's Mike Rush, and 00, Dick Kelly. In car 0, it's Donnie Hill, and in car number 12, Don Renner. In car number 33, it's Carl Stapleton, and in 02, Charlie Osborne. Up car 29, it's Bob Justice, and in the yellow number 10, Robin Pendleton. Then comes Jim Kidd in 25, Russ Bob 53, Dennis Kelly drives car 31, 7 is Mike Cyrus, 27 Terry Humphrey Jr., 48 is, make that 3, is Ron Holbein. Holbein didn't answer the bell. He is out for the night. So then comes 48 Willie Bigham, 5 Bob Gruball, and 44 J.V. Lease. 30 racing laps, the limited sportsman feature event. The leader is Jim Cruz in car number 9. Bigham disqualified for smoking. Bigham is out in 48. Five laps down, the leader is Jim Cruz. With a hello, how do you do to Jim Cruz. Forces his way inside, and Mike Rush is the leader. Mike Rush, Don Hill Jr., Carl Stapleton, Don Renner, and John Strobel, your top 5. 10 laps complete this time. The car leaders work their way around the lap car of Bob Gruball. We'll get a start the next time by. Mike Rush, the leader. Zero Hill is second, followed by John Strobel, Ken Sward, and Mike Brown, your top 5. Robin Pendleton up from way in the back. Pendleton is up to 7th place. Carl Stapleton is out in car 33. flags, this time signifying halfway, 15 laps complete. Bob in 53 calls it quits. The leaders, 3 abreast on the backstretch, around the lap car. Zero Hill on the inside. The new leader is Don Hill Jr. Mike Rush is second, Ken Sward third. Remain 10 laps. Ken Sward up to second. Mike Rush back to third. Strobel is fourth. In competition in a 50-lap feature event. That's June 22nd. Your leader is Zero Hill. Second is Ken Sward. Third is Mike Rush. Fourth is John Strobel. Donnie Renner jumping on the restart. He'll go to the tail. Cars must remain lined up unless there's a lag in front of the car in front of them that they're passing before the start. So again, they must remain lined up until the green flag is displayed. The 5 car of Bob Grubal is a lap down. John Strobel is actually 4th in the race. Charlie Osborne is 5th. Jim Cruz is 6th. is correct. Don Hill Jr. still the leader. Ken Swart second, Mike Rush third. Ken Swart, your leaders. Good race for that second spot. Osborne now up to third, I should say. Charlie Osborne is third. Your leader is Don Hill Jr. White flag this time. Zero Hill. Ken Swart is second. Third goes to Charlie Osborne. Fourth, John Strobel. And fifth, Dennis Kelly. Another exciting race. Let's hear it for all the limited sportsman competitors. Out there with the True Value hat here on True Value Burco Trucking Night at the races.
Okay, they were running.
Alongside in 23, Mike Taylor. The second row, car 41, that's Brian New. Brian New, and alongside Herb Pennington. And the third row, car 03, Gary Carter, and car number 90, Eric Nachman. And row number 4, it's Phil Gessler in car 4, and outside 69, Clyde Trowbridge. Next up, let's see here, where am I? I got a mix-up in the lineup, so we'll get that straightened out momentarily. See, Elrod Taylor, second row is 95. Gary Forbes is not out there. I better wait until we get this sorted out. Here we go, Steve Elrod and Mike Taylor. Brian New in 41, 87 Randall Borman. 03 is Gary Carter, 90 Eric Nachman. 89 is Herb Pennington, and outside 69, that's Clyde Trowbridge. Car number 4 is next Phil Gessler and Tom Idle in 35. 27 is Dave Dysinger, 3 Butch McAllister. In 04, it's Buddy Townsend, and outside of him in 44, Joe DeFelice. Then comes 6, Bill Wellman. 22, Donald Parsons III. 66, Paul Baker. 24, Mike Hamilton. 12 is Don Parsons. 2, Dan Brown. 25, Bubba Parsons. 51, Sandy Butcher. 95, Gary Forbes. And 33, Jim McCauley. 25 racing laps. Five laps. The leader is Steve Elrod in 19. Second, Brian New in 41. Joe DeFelice is out smoking badly. Gary Forbes out of the race in car 95. July 13th. And July 20th, the 100 lap John Knuckles Memorial. July 20th. Then coming up July 27th, the Gator Tractor Trailer Big Rig 100. Diesel trucks, 100 laps, along with the late models, July 20th. The leader is Steve Elrod in 19. Herb Pennington with a hello, how do you do to Randall Borman on the backstretch. Four laps complete, 4 laps. Borman the leader, but here comes Bill Wellman on the outside. Your leader is Bill Wellman. Herb Pennington with trouble on the backstretch in 89. Seven laps complete. Now Pennington calls it quits in car 89. Now the leader is Phil Gussler in car 4. Gussler in 4. And Gussler didn't last long. Now the leader, Paul Baker Jr. Laps complete this time by. The leader. Buddy Townsend is second. Halfway. To go, 10 laps. Paul Baker Jr. encounters some lap traffic of Sandy Butcher. He works his way around. Baker down the backstretch in 66, your leader. But Danny Brown in 2 is closing fast. Jr. the leader in the red 66. Danny Brown in 2, challenging for the lead. Third place is Buddy Townsend. Fourth is Donald Parsons. Five laps this time. Now Brown challenges on the outside. But Baker makes it underneath Bubba Parsons and holds on to the lead. They thread their way through lap traffic. Baker in 66, Brown in 2. Now Brown tries the high groove. makes contact with Brown. Brown holds on to it. White flag this time. Brown in 2, Baker in 66. Donald Parsons is up to 3rd place. And the winner in car number 2, Danny Brown. 2nd will be Paul Baker Jr. 3rd, Donald Parsons. I believe 4th is Buddy Townsend. So let's hear it for all the racers tonight. Good racing in every one of the classes. Got you out of here 10:36. How about that? A full racing program. Paul Baker Jr. almost held on to the win, but it was not to be here on Burco Trucking True Value Hardware Night.
Staples.
This makes Brown's 3rd feature win of 1991 here at the Speedway.